My name is Joey Gutierrez. My truck is a 2020 Ford F250 Tremor. I'm a professor, and so I get like 4-day weekends often, so I just hit the road. So I hit 4 corners on the regular. This truck, although it's not a Raptor at speed, it's a pretty decent rock crawler, and it has 3 times the payload. And so I can take basically any gear that I want with me on the road. From the cockpit here, for navigation, I run the iPad Pro sitting on a Mob Armor magnet. I normally keep a utility backpack to my right there for anything that I might need access to while on the road. Probably the most unique feature of my rig is the center console refrigerator. It fits 6 cans of Coke or 4 water bottles. I have Dometic fridge powered by a Yeti 500X for my food that's there on the left. Okay, so we're sitting underneath the Bush Company XT 270 degree awning. Covers up the deck system and what I've got here. So I use roam boxes for my kitchen, for anything associated with campfires. Rowdy, my dog, has one of them. All of his gear is in there. The deck system, I've got tools, other recovery gear, air compressor, cooking utensils, eating utensils. We also got a Roam ice chest, and that's for consumable ice. And then here's the Goal Zero 200X that I use to power things like my phone, my iPad. For water, I've got the LifeSaver, which filters water for me, so I can quite literally get water from a puddle. The deck system I could not live without. It allows me to constantly have something in here that allows me to just go off grid. If I want to just kind of hit the road quickly, I don't have to gear up every time. There's some things that are kind of staples that stay in this truck full time, and that deck system allows me to just leave it in there and just go on a whim if I feel like it. So on the side of the rack there, I've got an axe and I have the Crazy Beaver shovel. Occasionally, this truck has been in some precarious situations. I've had to dig out some rocks or sand mostly. So from here, what we're looking at first is on the top of the truck, I've got a Front Runner slimline roof rack. Off the front of it, on some carabiners, is a Goal Zero solar panel to power some of my batteries. On top of the Front Runner rack, I've got 2 Pelican cases. Those normally house boots, shoes, other clothing, particularly some dirty clothes sometimes, and also recovery gear. As we move back towards the back end of the truck, the tent itself is the Bush Company DX270 clamshell tent. It's the second tent that I've owned, and I would buy this one again if I broke it. So I used to have a rooftop tent that went kind of straight up, okay, on both sides. The problem with that type of tent when you run it off of a truck is to latch down the side that's closest to the front of the truck with the back of the truck in the way. Your hand had to get inside this really small space to lock it down, which made it really, really difficult. The clamshell here, obviously I stand on the tailgate, I close it quite literally in a minute and a half tops. Beyond that, the side of the tent has mounting brackets, which allows me to put additional things on there if I wanted to. So, and it's made of aluminum, so it's quite literally like damn near bulletproof. It's run through trees before, and it just gets a couple scratches here and there, but it keeps on ticking. Right beneath those, the 4 Max tracks used for any kind of recovery. I've used those quite a few times. That's my go-to if I ever have any kind of trouble and I need some recovery. That's kind of the first things I have. For recovery gear, I've got Factor 55 everything. I've got their ropes, I have their tree savers, their soft shackles, hard shackles. The winch here is the latest thing that I put onto this rig. It's the worn 12,000 pound winch, and I took the standard garden variety hook off of it and I put a Factor 55 Ultra hook on it. But because it's the newest thing that I put on this rig, I'm yet to actually use it, and so we'll see if I ever. Hopefully not.